Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on Pika Magic, or Page Magic. However he pronounces it, I'm gonna say Pika Magic. And today we're gonna see about making a Diglett and DUGTRIO of every type, because...
With the introduction of Wiglet in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we technically have two differently typed Diglett forms in the franchise.
And now we're gonna do every other type. Let's go!
So let's see what a Diglett and DUGTRIO of every type might look like.
Ooh, I wonder what you're gonna do for flying. Make it just like a cloud, like a Lakitu?
Hey everyone, Brandon here. With all these Diglett and Diglett adjacent Pokemon coming out in recent generations, it got me thinking about a bunch of potential Diglett forms or even convergent Pokemon like Wiglet. But this was on my mind even before we were introduced to Wiglet, after I saw this supposed leak of a water-ground Diglett form based around geysers. And I'm sure you saw it circulating around as well. As it turns out, this leak and a few others were made by the talented PokeTour. So I partnered with them to make a bunch of new Diglett and DUGTRIO forms. So starting us off is the fighting type. Diglett and DUGTRIO are both based on the classic Whack-A-Mole arcade game. Their dex entries say they're a very great resource on farms because when they dig through the fields, the soil is perfectly tilled. But what if in another region, Diglett and DUGTRIO were pests that just ate the crops on the farms and needed to be whacked to scare them off? Well, in comes these fighting type forms of Diglett and DUGTRIO.
I hope to Arceus he's making a joke and this isn't his serious idea.
Just kidding. Here are the actual ones.
They've
been whacked one too many times, so now they are some angry little guys. In this region, they are highly aggressive crop munchers, and given their history of being whacked, they don't trust humans, especially farmers. If they see a farmer, it's like the dog with the mailman. They will chase that farmer to the ends of the earth, even if that farmer has never whacked them before. Their fighting type not only comes through in their aggressive nature, but also in that they have to fight to survive in this region. Due to the fact there isn't a regular abundance of the plant roots they were used to munching on in Kanto, so they have to eat the farmer's crops to survive, which they risk being whacked for. Next up is the electric type. For this, we have a convergent Pokemon called Outlet. It's based on lightning rods and the buildings that hold them. At the moment of making this video, Wiglet is the only convergent Pokemon we know about, and we don't even know how it evolves, so if these Pokemon break the rules of what a convergent Pokemon is, try to cut us some slack. Anyway, Outlet uses the electricity it gathers from its head to fuel itself. It usually likes to stay in one place, but when it moves, it tends to move in quick bursts. At level 26, Outlet evolves into Outlot. Unlike Diglett, Outlet doesn't evolve into 3 of itself and goes a more traditional Pokemon evolution route, becoming a bigger and more advanced version of its previous form. I decided to use the lot suffix in place of the trio because this Pokemon has a whole lot more to it than its previous form. Outlot expands upon the design elements of Outlet and adds these little lightning rods beside it that can be used to disperse extra powerful lightning strikes. Outlot tend to hang out in very high places, especially during thunderstorms. The energy they receive from these storms can sustain them for months. Speaking of energy and sustaining yourself, let's talk about a new partner to the channel, GamerSupps. GamerSupps is an incredible brand that provides you with
energy. Right past this. Dum 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 dum. Okay, I think we're good now.
To get free samples with free shipping to anywhere in the world. You heard that right. It's all around 12 hours after window. Supps also just released an 8-gram food. You probably incredible to go for 10%.
Guys.
So make stacks. For ice, we have Talassian Diglett and DUGTRIO.
Okay, hold on. Now we're good to go. Sorry about that. I guess maybe I should have just looked. Oh well, moving on.
We have some Ice and Ghost forms by Maumistax. For Ice, we have Talassian Diglett and DUGTRIO. Like the Alolan forms, these Diglett and DUGTRIO have hair, but instead of on the head, they have beards. I cannot even begin to describe how happy these two make me. Talassian Diglett grew their beards to help regulate their temperature in the cold caves of northern Talassia. Whichever Diglett has the biggest beard is allowed to evolve and lead the group. When evolved, Talassian DUGTRIO are extremely territorial and will fight to defend their home or even conquer new caves. Their beardedness and their territorial and conquering nature is a reference to Vikings. For Ghost, we have some more convergent Pokemon with Spooklet and SpookTrio. They're based on sheet ghosts. For this design, Maumus played into the fact that many people thought Diglett's nose was a mouth with one little tooth. So the noses are meant to look more like open, shrieking mouths, like The Scream by Edvard Munch. If you've made it this far into the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with future videos just like this one. Back to PokeTour and Ice designs. Next, we have the Fairy type.
Watch. And like. There you go. See? I liked it on recording.
This we took inspiration from the star-nosed mole, who
Ew.
is kind of a freaky-looking little guy.
Yes,
so
it
here's
is.
a freaky-looking little fairy-type Diglett that we made to
Why
match.
does it have a
its
hand?
nose is above its eyes and shaped like a hand. I promise this will make sense shortly. It evolves at level 26 into this DUGTRIO. Do you get it now?
Huh.
It's a little priest/pope DUGTRIO
Oh,
doing the
I
praise
get
hands.
it.
The fairy typing comes in with the holiness
like-
of those professions. Holy things are typically attributed with light in JRPGs
That is
and are a
hilarious.
counter to dark things, just like the fairy type. These Diglett and DUGTRIO are believed to have been blessed by Arceus itself and tried to share the light of Arceus with every Pokemon they meet. For
That's
the
a
bug type,
joke.
Pokitour had the idea of switching the inspiration from the ground-dwelling mole to the ground-dwelling worm. So here is Buglet
Ooh,
and
oh.
Buglot. I
Oh,
know
no.
earthworms are not actually bugs, but they're bug adjacent and the concept fits really well. Also, Buglot adds in the inspiration of these sandworms from Dune. Unlike Diglett
okay.
and DUGTRIO, Buglet and Buglot
Ooh, I wonder
eat
if
the
he did
soil
one
they
of the
plow through.
graboids from
Buglot will
Tremels.
also eat anything in its
Probably
path that
not.
is smaller than it, so watch out. Onto the poison type. For this, Pokitour had the idea of changing the kind of mole that Diglett is based on, but
what?
not in the way you think. With that said, let's meet our poison type Diglett and DUGTRIO.
Oh.
Instead of being based on the animal mole, they are instead based on a skin mole, specifically the
Ew.
cancerous kind like melanoma. These two
Oh.
infect the earth around them, causing a
Based
blight on the
upon
soil,
cancer.
making it inhospitable to any form of life. It is highly recommended to not interact with these Pokemon and avoid them at all costs. It is said that even if you manage to catch it, the Pokeball itself will rot and release them. Now for the rock type,
Damn.
we have Rocklet. It is based on mountains, but
Huh.
also those giant
That's
Diglett
funny.
statues found in Galar. Rocklet are
Oh,
very
yeah.
slow moving and tend to stay in one place for long periods of time. If they stay long enough in one place, they will start to grow and their biology will begin to incorporate with the land around it. Rocklet evolves into Rockwad. Rockwad adds
Okay,
in the
not bad.
additional inspiration of Mount Rushmore, found near Keystone, South
Yeah, I can
Dakota.
kinda see
Rockwad
it.
is so
Looks like it's
goofy
got
and I
facial
just
hair.
love it. Rockwad used to be rare to find, but with modern technology, it has become much easier to track them down. Next up is the flying type. This
Here
one
we
is a
go.
pretty simple idea, but super cute nonetheless. So here is the flying type
Yes!
Diglett and DUGTRIO. They're floating on little clouds Lakitu style.
Oh,
DUGTRIO
I
even
literally
has the
said
little
that.
crown of the sun
Ha!
as an
I
actual
swear, I
crown,
haven't seen
looking
this
like the sun
video.
peeking over the clouds. These Pokemon move unlike any other flying type Pokemon. There is seemingly no pattern to their movement and can freely fly in any direction. Flying makes them very happy, but if they're made sad or angry, their colors will darken and it will
Ooh.
create fierce gusts of wind. For the normal
Oop. And we're back.
type, Pokitour and I agreed that there is nothing more normal than an actual mole. So here is normal Diglett and Duglot. Oh my
I
god,
like
it has
it.
appendages! The natural
li-
order is falling apart!
Whoa, wait,
In all
what?
seriousness
Relax.
though, Duglot is made to look more like real moles. But both Diglett and its coloration are taken from the golden
It's actually
mole,
really
which
cute.
actually isn't a true mole. They're the result of a real-life convergent evolution. It's a fun little
Oh,
twist on this
yeah.
video idea where the regional variant and evolution is actually based on the real-life convergent animal instead of vice versa. These two
Nice.
spend most of their time relaxing in deserts. Their bodies and fur are well suited for the heat the day brings and the cool of the night. Onto the grass type.
Not
What
bad.
kind of plant life sticks just barely out of the dirt and is round like Diglett? Oh yeah, potatoes. So here is Spudlet and Spudtrio. Potatoes, one of the
Alright,
best and most
alright.
versatile vegetables in cooking and now in Fakemon too. For Spud
Now I'm gonna say this. You better find that in some kind of Russian region. That's a joke. That's a joke. You
Trio,
probably
we used
find
a
them
mix
more
of
in, like, the
potato
Isle of
types:
Alma.
russet, golden, and sweet potatoes. Spudlet and Spudtrio not only till the soil they move through, but also enrich it as well, making them the
Nice.
perfect companion for farmers. Next, for the psychic type, Pokitour had the idea of a Diglett popping out of a hat like a magician's rabbit. So here is
Oh.
Rablet and Rabduo. Rablet
Oh.
love carrots. They will travel great distances just to eat them, which actually isn't too difficult for them given that the magic hats they reside in can help them float to said carrots. Rabduo,
Okay, that's
while
kinda
still a
cool.
carrot lover, is more frequently found at magic shows being used to amaze and entertain children. For the fire type, we have Maglet and Magtrio. They are based on
It's
erupting
straight up a
volcanoes.
volcano.
Maglet are rare Pokemon, though they used to be much more common in ancient times. When they erupt, the temperature rises, even at distances up to 60 feet away.
Damn.
Magtrio surround themselves in hot magma to deter predators. Ancient cave writing seemingly tells the story of a giant Magtrio erupting, with its ash blocking out the sun and laying waste to the towns below. Next
Well,
up,
that
here are the
sucks.
dark forms of Diglett
Ooh.
and Duglot. And just like the poison type, we changed the kind of mold that these two are based on. They're based on spies, specifically double agents, aka moles. Their designs take heavy inspiration from Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series, and even Speckles from the critically acclaimed Disney movie G-Force. These Diglett and DUGLETT are masters of espionage. They can silently pop in and out of the ground, walls, and even ceilings. For the dragon type, Poketor and I both thought a great inspiration would be the Hydra given DUGTRIO's multi-headedness. Here is DRAGLETT and DRAGTRIO. You can see instead of the usual dirt mound that Diglett and DUGTRIO have surrounding them, it is instead a pile of gold to reference the Greek origins of dragons. In Greek, they're called Drakon, which means the Watcher, as apparently they were made by the gods to watch over their treasure. DRAGLETT and DRAGTRIO will both keep their mound of gold with them wherever they go. If even a single piece of gold is misplaced, they will become enraged. It is said an enraged DRAGTRIO once terrorized a village, until a mighty trainer with many fire-type Pokemon came and bested it. And that's a Diglett and DUGTRIO of every type. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Well, I have to say, that was actually kind of an interesting video. Short, simple, yet I loved it. So, remember to give a like, comment, and subscribe for more. The link in the description is to the original video, so support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.